What's good people? You know, this is your girl, Anna Deshawn, right here on E3 Radio. And this is Wake Up with Anna and Friends. I'm so glad y'all decided to tune in today. I got some special guests, some very special guests. My cousin is with me. What's going on, Kahari?
What's up, man?
What up? And today I'm talking with Kahari. We're also talking with a couple of great guys here who are doing some interesting work about economics and McDonald's. Now, I know y'all love the drive-thru, but we're here to talk about not being McFooled. That's it, right, guys? So the McFooled, they're having it's actually a lawsuit that they've got going on right now against McDonald's, and I want to hear more about it because we all know the drive-thru is real. So y'all gonna tell us why we need to stop driving through. So Jim, what's going on, Jim Byrd? It's good to have you on the show.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here, and thank you for the opportunity. Just briefly, and I know we don't have a lot of time, our issue is we have filed a class action lawsuit against McDonald's, and a couple of reasons. One is systematic racism. We're sick and tired of it. And we're sick and tired of asking. We're sick and tired of waiting for the same people who do things to change. And we decided to take a stand. The big issue is if you're white, your average volume is close to $3 million. If you're black, it's $2 million. Now, it's it's close to $1 million difference.
We on the internet. You okay, Jim? We on the internet.
It's $1 million that we're missing. And if you look at the black operators across the country, it's like, how is that possible to be $1 million short everywhere? And we're just sick and tired of that. In addition to that, the Nashville region, which my brother and I operate in,
Jim froze up, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. It's real money, and if you took the two stores,
Jim, we lost you there for a second. Let's go back just for a second. I heard the last thing I heard was that me and my brother operate.
My brother and I operate in the Nashville region. We call it the Nashville field office, and in that area, the cash flow gap, white to black, is $140,000 per store. So I have two stores, and I'm missing $280,000. And I'm just not happy about it. And this is across the country, an epidemic that we just refuse to continue to wait on.
And just so the listeners know, when you say operate, you own a couple of McDonald's in Nashville.
I am a McDonald's franchisee and have been for some 32 years now.
Oh, wow.
And actually, I was quite proud to be able to do that. And it's with great pause that you have to fight the oppressor in this situation. But if not now, when? And if not us, who?
Absolutely. You got to take a stand. Darryl Virg, what do you have to add to this conversation here around the economics of it all?
Well, first, I wanted to thank you very much for allowing us this time, this venue, this format, to be able to reach the people of the world. And it's very important that we share the information. You mentioned economics. I listened to my brother talk. I became an operator in 1998. So I've got, a good bit of years. And I came in 1998 as a result of turmoil, strife. There was discrimination happening with the African-American operators in the United States. So through that, in 1998, there was a push to get more of us into the system. I was blessed with the work of what my brother Jim did to help that. We had gained about 377 black owner-operators in the United States, an all-time high. That was in 1998. So I was part of that wave, the new wave. Well, the new wave got crushed, and that 377 has been slammed down to less than 180. From 1998 to 2021, in that period of time, you'll see the McDonald's grew approximately more than 10,000 restaurants. However, the African Americans went down from 377 down to less than 180. Not only that, when I talk about economics, Jim mentioned about the cash flow gap. That's real money. So to make an example, if you were to buy a home, You and I, we both qualified for this program that we went to. Took a long time, and we were able to qualify. We both come into the system together, you and I. The only difference is the color. You happen to be a different color than I. You get approved just like I do. We both go to the bank the same day. You talk to the banker, he approves your loan to buy your store. You pay 3% interest, you're happy. I do the same thing. I talk to the exact same person. And then I sign my deal. My deal is 5% higher than yours for the exact same thing. That's been going on year after year. So when you compound the amount of money that's lost, it's in the billions of dollars. And so we're looking at not being able to transfer this wealth over to the next generation because it's been stolen back from us, almost as though the land that we had here was stolen from us. Our things that our natural resources were stolen from Africa, just like we were stolen. The same thing is happening. So that there is the economic piece, because without having the finance and the economics to grow your business, to grow your community, to reinvest into your schools, to help with the daycares, we put a lot of money and time into our communities. We're not really owners. McDonald's is the owner. So we call ourselves owner operators. I lean more on the operator side because we operate the business. McDonald's owns the building. They own the land. They own everything. We just lease from them. So why are we paying 5% higher for the exact same thing? I've searched since 1998 to find out. I've tried everything. I've done all the nights. I've raised my hand. I went to all of the meetings. I've done everything that you're supposed to do. But we come up short. So we have to fix it. There's no more waiting. We want this now. This is for our generation. It's bigger than McDonald's. If it happens here, we're supposed to be woke. We're 365. We're a part of the community. We love you, Black people. But when it comes to talking the talk, are you advertising with Black people? No. Are you growing our businesses? No. Is our second generation growing? Are we building sales? No. We're going backwards. So we have to stop this slide.
And that's where the McFooled comes in, because they do a great job marketing to Black folks. They do a great job marketing to the Black community, all the things on major radio stations. They find their way. They find their way in. But this, what you all are talking about, goes much deeper than that. So, how did you all come together and say, I think it's time now to file a lawsuit? We've done everything we can, and where is it at right now? And how can people who are listening to the show actually support what you all are doing?
So before we go to Kahari, because he's going to wrap up, and I know, again, we're on limited time, but we last year, 2 dynamic women who were inside, they were executives of McDonald's, inside people. They sued McDonald's for discrimination. 2 Black women, dynamic Black women. In their lawsuit, they were able to release a lot of documents, a lot of facts and figures from the inside, which we found most interesting and intriguing. And we call them the whistleblowers because they helped us realize that the time was now and that the things had continued on. At one point, there were 42 Black executives in McDonald's under Don Thompson's leadership, who was our first Black president and CEO. And when he left the company, McDonald's systematically reduced that number to 7. So wow. 42 to 7. Wow. And as you can see in the cash flow, we're missing $1 million in sales. We're missing 140,000 per store. Now we're missing Black executives. And so we were sick and tired of just keep missing. Now, keep in mind that we still have to do the same reinvestment, we got to pay employees, do the same business as our white counterparts, but we're $1 million short in sales, and we're $140,000 on bottom line. So we put together, with Brother Kahari's tutelage, wisdom, and knowledge, a group of 77 Black operators that have sued McDonald's as well, separate lawsuit. And then my brother and I have joined for a current lawsuit of current McDonald's operators.
Got it. I mean, this is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And I'm proud to have y'all on the show to tell the good people and the people who will listen to this show exactly what y'all doing and exactly what McDonald's is doing. I mean, 42 to 7 executives. That's what systematic oppression looks like. That's what we talk about. We talk about breaking down those barriers and making a way. Those things make a difference. And we know Black leadership makes a big difference in big corporations. It's a game changer. So, Kahari, how can people listening support the lawsuit and support, what's going on?
Each one teach one. We want everybody to, tell everybody about, how McDonald's has masterfully crafted this false narrative of Black engagement. And so one of the things that McDonald's has done was they created a Black information network with iHeartRadio. So now they don't have to spend that money with Black-owned radio stations. Mm-hmm. So they keep, tweaking these verticals so that they can keep this money in-house, because these operators pay 2% advertising fee to the national fund and 2% to the local co-op. And so McDonald's sees all these line items, and they keep finding ways to keep that money in-house. And so that was one of the reasons why I was applauding Byron Allen and Ice Cube and Junior Bridgman and Roland Martin and a couple of others that signed on and took out an ad in the Detroit Free Press last month against General Motors, because General Motors they were calling General Motors out on their unequitable distribution of their advertising dollars with the Black-owned media companies. And so, and then they tried to blackwash that situation with, Revolt TV, and then when Sean Combs came out and wrote his letter to corporate America, said, "If you love us, pay us." So I applaud him for that too. So everybody, we all kind of moving in the same direction, and so eventually all of us gonna have to get together and create this one coalition against systematic racism, and use the power of the Black community to achieve equitable distribution and equity for all. And that's one of the new things that we, the Byrd Brothers and I, along with some other individuals, that we're gonna wait until they're ready, but they're gonna come out soon, and we're gonna create this whole campaign called Equity for All, because we are one. And so if we all are one, then equity should be amongst all of us. So we're just gonna keep on moving, and we've done the Don't Be McFooled at 3 of the 10 McDonald's field offices, and we got 7 more to go. And we're gonna keep this campaign going throughout the Black elected officials, the Black clergy, and we're gonna hit the HBCUs, because they too have been robbed of their equity. As far as the philanthropic contributions that McDonald's should be making towards those students in the universities, those institutions, for Black education. And so in that massively crafted systematic racism for the Black executives, they should have been creating more Black executives, not taking away from them. And so if you're saying you put money into education, then the end road for education is employment. So if you're gonna take away the employment opportunities, but you're saying that you're giving them education opportunities, so it's not equal.
It's not equal, and there's a reckoning happening, I think, across the country amongst a lot of different industries, and corporate America is right in the midst of it. And it seems like you all have the perfect time to be not only leading this initiative, this lawsuit, and raising awareness, because I think that most people think when they go to a McDonald's in a Black neighborhood, one, they assume it's owned by a Black, owner operator is Black, which should not be the assumption. And second, if they do go somewhere where they think the owner operator is Black, they feel like that they're contributing in some type of way, to the Black community, right? And the facts are, it's just not how all the money draws out. It's just not how it all happens. And oftentimes my mama would say the devil's in the details. And in these corporate America and these contracts, it's the fine print, right? And it's the things that you don't see that doesn't equate to Black equity. And McDonald's has done a masterful job of making Black people feel like they are for them. I mean, as someone who loved Tom Joyner in the morning, I think McDonald's was on every day on Tom Joyner, you know, and the Black Information Network. They got billboards. I mean, here in Chicago, they got billboards all over the city about the Black Information Network. You would think a Black person was behind a Black Information Network, right? But it's McFooled. It don't be McFooled. I'm gonna start saying that just cause it just fits. So Byrd Brothers, thank y'all so much for coming on.
Let me add one last thing before we depart.
Oh, please, yes.
Our chief executive officer, we call him Chris K, got on national TV and said that McDonald's, with his arrogant self, he said that McDonald's has created more Black millionaires than any corporation on the planet. Any corporation on the planet. That was the arrogance that he came out with in the response to the lawsuits. And if you think about that, it's a farce when you look at the NFL, the NBA, actors, actresses, the music industry, just all the different sporting franchises. How do you have the arrogance to say that you've created more Black millionaires than anybody on the planet?
Right.
And let that be dismissive. So that's another one of those things that we just say, don't be McFooled.
And I would say that
how many white operators they created to be multi-millionaires.
You know, if I could say this, and I do want to say that the power is really in our hands. That we have so much power in our hands, but we're led to believe that we don't. But meeting Kahari and spending these last couple of years really being in the trenches and seeing the impact that we've been able to have has elevated my thinking to know with no uncertainty that the power is with us, because we are people of faith, we're people of God, and the power is with us. I say this for another reason when I talk about economics. Since this filing of this lawsuit, this historic case that we're witnessing, when we filed in October, McDonald's has been very strategic, and I know that we have power because they have gone and spoken to 175 African-American operators and reduced their rents. There's only
Really?
2 remaining operators that McDonald's has forgotten to talk to. They happen to be the Byrd Brothers. That lets me know that there's power, because we have been able to accomplish some amazing things for the operators right now. But if they were that intentional that they could do that, that just shows that we've been playing a game that we don't want to play anymore, that we can't play anymore, not for myself, not for you, not for our children, and not for the generations that will come in the future. We're going to be a powerful race, and we're starting right now. Right now, don't be McFooled.
That's right. Power does not just bend, right? Power changes because people push it, because people demand it. And you all are demanding a change, and clearly some changes are happening. I think you all continue to demand for more. Because to your point, Jim Byrd, I was going to say the same thing. They may have made some millionaires, but they could have made multi-millionaires. Right? And when we start talking about millions, they start throwing that out. People have, think it's an amazing thing. No, it's a deserved thing. It's an earned thing. And I could earn more and give back more if you gave me what I deserve. So I appreciate y'all coming on the show today. Family, don't be McFooled. Cuzzo, Kahari, appreciate you and the work that you're doing. And family, don't go nowhere. You're listening to Anna Deshawn right here on Wake Up with Anna and Friends on E3 Radio. Stay close.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.